The Terminator is finally turning into a real robot, and you will not believe what is happening inside his family in 2026. You might think you know the Schwarzenegger story, but everything has changed. One son is building a billion-dollar empire while another is left standing alone. And wait until you hear about the $15 million mistake that has his daughter trapped in a legal nightmare with a pop star. Get ready, because the drama in this dynasty is just getting started. The strongest man in the world is now running on batteries. Arnold recently revealed a massive secret to his fans that changed everything about how we see him. He had to get a pacemaker installed to keep his heart beating correctly. The story of Arnold's heart is a long and scary one that goes back decades. You see, Arnold was born with a condition called a bicuspid aortic valve. Most people have 3 flaps in their heart valve, but Arnold only had 2. This is a genetic problem that he got from his mother's side of the family. It is a ticking time bomb that he has been living with his whole life. Back in 1997, he had his first big surgery to replace those valves. The doctors told him back then that the new valves would not last forever. They said he would get maybe 12 or 15 years out of them. They were right. In 2018, he went back to the hospital to replace them again. But this time, tragedy struck. Something went wrong during the procedure. It was a disaster. The doctors had to cut him open for emergency open-heart surgery to save his life. Imagine waking up and realizing that a routine procedure turned into a fight for survival. Arnold said he was freaking out when he woke up and saw the doctors. He had to fight his way back to health from zero. He started by just walking a few steps down the hallway. Then he went home and kept working. But he was not done yet. In 2020, he had to go back to replace the other valve. All those surgeries left a lot of scar tissue in his heart. That scar tissue started messing with the electrical signals that make the heart beat. His heartbeat became irregular. His doctors at the Cleveland Clinic watched him closely. They told him that if he wanted to stay healthy and keep filming his TV show called FUBAR, he needed to take action. They said it was time for a pacemaker. Arnold did not hesitate. He knows how dangerous this can be. He admitted that his mother died in 1998 because she did not get the valve surgery she needed. She was afraid of the operation. Arnold did not want to make that same mistake. He listened to his doctors and went in for surgery on a Monday. The amazing part is how fast he recovered. He had the surgery on Monday, and by Friday he was standing on a stage at a big environmental event with his friend Jane Fonda. He told the crowd that nobody would have guessed he started the week with surgery. He even joked that he is now a little bit more of a machine. Now, if you look very closely at his chest, you might see the outline of the device. But Arnold says you can only see it if you are really looking for it. He is back in the gym lifting weights and feeding his animals. He says that having the irregular heartbeat made him tired because his heart was working too hard. Now, with the pacemaker, his energy is back to normal. You might remember his famous marriage to Maria Shriver, but that ended a long time ago. For over 10 years now, Arnold has had a new partner by his side. Her name is Heather Milligan, and she is a huge part of his life in 2026. The story of how they met is really cool. It all started in 2012. Arnold was recovering from shoulder surgery. He was getting ready to film a movie called Escape Plan with Sylvester Stallone. He needed to get his muscles back in shape so he could throw punches and look tough. He asked his surgeon if there was anyone who could help him train safely. The surgeon said there is only one person for the job, and her name is Heather. Heather is a physical therapist who runs her own clinic called Elite Orthosport. She works with some of the best professional athletes in the world. When Arnold walked into her clinic, it was strictly business. He wanted to fix his shoulder and she wanted to do her job. But they got along really well. After the movie was finished, Arnold wanted to say thank you. He called her up and asked if he could take her to lunch. That one lunch turned into a relationship that has lasted more than a decade. They have been together since 2013. They are best friends who do everything together. They travel all over the world. They go to Oktoberfest in Germany and wear traditional outfits. They ride their bicycles around Santa Monica in the mornings. Heather even hangs out with his donkey and pony at his house. People are always asking if they are going to get married. In late 2023, everyone went crazy because Heather was seen wearing a huge ring on her finger. It looked just like an engagement ring. Fans thought that Arnold had finally proposed. But sources say that Arnold is not ready to get married again. He likes things the way they are. He loves that Heather is independent. He told a magazine that he thinks the world of her. He loves that she is driven and loves to work. He does not have to take care of her because she takes care of herself. Arnold even visits her at her clinic sometimes. He talks to the athletes while they get therapy. He jokes that the young athletes make him feel weak because they are so strong and fast. Heather has become a steady rock in his life. She is there for the red carpet premieres. She is there when he has heart surgery. She is part of the family in her own way. But the real drama in the Schwarzenegger family is not about Arnold and Heather. It is about his children. The biggest news in the family is about Patrick Schwarzenegger. He is officially a married man. Patrick has been dating a model named Abby Champion for a very long time. They met way back in 2015 when Patrick was only 21 years old, and Abby was just 18. They basically grew up together in Hollywood. They went on dates and traveled and supported each other's careers. In December 2023, Patrick decided it was time to take the next step. He planned a beautiful proposal on the beach. He got down on one knee and asked Abby to marry him. They posted photos on Instagram with a caption that said "Forever and Ever." It was very romantic and fans were so happy for them. But they did not rush to have the wedding. Patrick is an actor and he got a big role in the hit TV show The White Lotus. He played a character named Saxon Ratliff. Because he was busy filming, they had to wait to find the perfect time for the wedding. Finally, on September 6, 2025, they did it. They got married in a stunning ceremony in Idaho. They chose a place called the Gaza Ranch Golf and Lake Club. The wedding was like a fairy tale. The photos showed Abby wearing a classic white dress that looked amazing. Patrick looked very handsome in a white tuxedo jacket and black pants. The guest list was full of stars. His mom, Maria Shriver, was there looking proud. His dad, Arnold, was there smiling big. His sisters, Catherine and Christina, were there. Even his brother Christopher was there. Famous friends like Rob Lowe came to watch them say "I do." It was a happy day for the family. But Patrick is not just a husband and an actor. He is becoming a very serious businessman, just like his father. You might be surprised to learn that he runs his own company that is making millions of dollars. Patrick started a company called Mosh. He created it with his mom, Maria Shriver. Mosh stands for a brand of protein bars, but they are not just for building big muscles like Arnold. These bars are for your brain. Patrick and Maria noticed something missing in the grocery store. There were bars for energy and bars for muscles, but no bars that talked about brain health. This is a very personal mission for them. Maria's father fought a battle with Alzheimer's disease. It was very hard on the family. They wanted to create a product that would help people take care of their brains and also raise money for research. They launched the company on World Alzheimer's Day in 2021. They decided that a portion of every single sale would go to support women-based Alzheimer's research. It was a great idea, and it took off fast. The business got so big that they went on the TV show Shark Tank. They stood in front of the sharks and asked for money. They told the sharks that their company was worth $25 million. Some of the sharks thought that number was too high. But Patrick knew his numbers. He told them that in 2023 they made $7 million in sales. By the end of 2024, sales jumped up to $12 million. That is huge growth. Patrick said that if they stopped spending money on marketing, they would be making a profit immediately. But he wants to grow the company to be huge, so he keeps investing the money back into it. Patrick is not just selling these bars on the internet anymore. Mosh bars are now in 1,000 stores across the country. By the end of 2026, they plan to be in 5,000 stores. While Patrick is celebrating his success, his older sister Catherine is dealing with a major headache involving her house. Catherine is married to the Marvel superstar Chris Pratt. They have a beautiful family with 3 kids. They have two daughters named Lila Maria and Eloise Christina. And in November 2024, they welcomed a baby boy named Ford Fitzgerald Schwarzenegger Pratt. Chris also has a son named Jack from his first marriage, so their house is full of kids. But their housing situation has been a disaster. A few years ago, Catherine and Chris bought a house in a fancy area called Pacific Palisades. They paid more than $15 million for it in 2018. It was an old house from the 1950s, but they did not like the old style, so they tore the whole thing down to the ground. They spent 3 years building a brand new custom mansion exactly how they wanted it. The new house is massive. It has 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. It has a saltwater pool and a huge gym. It is beautiful. But here is the problem. They do not want it anymore. They decided they wanted to move to Montecito, which is a very quiet and rich town where Prince Harry lives. They listed their custom Pacific Palisades house for sale in July 2023. They asked for $32 million. That is a lot of money. But nobody bought it. It sat on the market for a long time. They lowered the price to $25 million. Still, nobody bought it. Then, right before baby Ford was born in late 2024, they took it off the market. They wanted to focus on the baby and not worry about showing the house to strangers. Now in 2026, they are trying again, but they have slashed the price way down. It is now listed for just under $20 million. That is a huge price cut from what they originally wanted. They are desperate to sell it. But that is not even the worst part. Their move to Montecito is surrounded by drama. They moved into a house that Chris bought for $15 million. But this house is in the middle of a lawsuit involving the singer Katy Perry. Katy Perry has been fighting a legal battle over that house for years. She bought it from an elderly man named Carl Westcott, but his family said he was not well enough to sell it. The court case has been messy and public. Chris and Catherine moved in, but they got dragged into the drama because they are living in the middle of a legal war zone. Imagine having a new baby and trying to sell your old house for millions less than you wanted while living in a house that is being fought over in court. It is not easy being rich and famous. Now let us talk about the sister you do not hear much about. Her name is Christina Schwarzenegger. She is the second oldest child. Unlike her siblings, she likes to stay out of the spotlight. You will not see her doing daily videos on Instagram like Catherine or walking red carpets every week like Patrick. Christina is very smart. She went to Georgetown University just like her mom. She also studied interior architecture at Parsons School of Design. But her career is in Hollywood just behind the camera. She is a producer and she works on very serious projects. Have you seen the documentary called Take Your Pills on Netflix? Christina produced that. It is a movie about the problem of people abusing Adderall. She also produced the sequel called Take Your Pills Xanax. She cares about important health issues. Christina is very close to her mom, Maria Shriver. They work together on these projects. They attend premieres together. But when it comes to her dating life, Christina keeps everything a secret. We know she has a very close bond with her sister Catherine. She is often seen hanging out with Catherine and Chris Pratt. She goes to holiday parties with them and goes to dinner with them in Santa Monica. If you have not seen Christopher Schwarzenegger lately, you might not even recognize him. Seriously, he looks like a completely different person. Christopher is the youngest son of Arnold and Maria. He was born in 1997. For a long time, he was the heavy kid in the family. He struggled with his weight since he was in high school. He tried meal delivery services and different diets, but nothing seemed to work for him. He talked about a painful moment when he was on a trip in Australia. He wanted to go skydiving with his friends, but a friend looked at him and said, "There is no shot you can do that." He was too heavy for the parachute. Christopher realized that his weight was stopping him from living his life and having fun. So in 2020, he decided to make a big change. He graduated from the University of Michigan during the pandemic. He could not have a big graduation party because of the virus. So he used that quiet time to focus on his health. He started working out. He cut out the junk food and started eating healthy. It was not a quick fix. It took him 5 years of hard work. But the results are jaw-dropping. He has lost over 100 pounds. He showed off his new body at Patrick's wedding and at family events. He looks fit and strong. He looks like a Schwarzenegger. He even has a cool new haircut that looks like a mullet. Arnold is so proud of him. He posts about Christopher taking boxing classes and cycling classes. He says he cannot even keep up with his son anymore. Christopher is also crushing it in his career. He works at a company called Indus Valley Media. He is the director of development there. He produces documentaries and shows. He is working on a project about the famous artist Jean-Michel Basquiat and a documentary about Alec Baldwin. He is also helping out with the Special Olympics just like his grandmother did. Christopher has proven that he has the Schwarzenegger discipline. But there is another son who shares that discipline, and his story is the most dramatic of all. This is where the story gets really complicated and sad. Joseph Baena is 28 years old now. He looks exactly like Arnold. He has the same chest and the same smile and the same muscles, but he does not have the last name. Joseph was born just days after Christopher in 1997, but for over 13 years nobody knew he was Arnold's son. His mother was Mildred Baena, who was the family's housekeeper. It was a secret that eventually destroyed Arnold's marriage to Maria Shriver. When the truth came out in 2011, it was a scandal that shook the world. Joseph was just a kid. He had to grow up dealing with the fact that his dad was the Terminator, but his family was broken. Today, Joseph and Arnold have a fantastic relationship. They are gym buddies. They train together at Gold's Gym almost every day. Arnold gives him bodybuilding advice. They post photos flexing together. Arnold helps him with his real estate career and his acting. Joseph is working very hard. He is a real estate agent with a company called Aria Properties. He sells houses in Los Angeles. He has sold homes worth millions of dollars. He recently sold a house for over $1 million and another for $4 million. He is also an actor. He was in a movie called Gunner with Morgan Freeman. He works as a DJ too. He is doing it all. But what about his siblings? This is the sad part. It seems like the other Schwarzenegger kids want nothing to do with him. Remember Patrick's wedding in Idaho? The one with the white tuxedos and the lakeside vows? Joseph was not there. Reports say he was not invited. While the rest of the family was celebrating together, Joseph was posting photos of himself hiking or working out alone. And then there was the premiere of Arnold's show Fubar Season 2 in June 2025. This was supposed to be a happy night. All 5 kids were there. It was a rare moment to see them all in one place. But watch the red carpet footage closely. Arnold took photos with Catherine and Christina and Patrick and Christopher. They stood together as a tight family unit. Then that group walked away. Arnold then took separate photos with Joseph. They did not pose together as a group of 6. The 4 siblings did not stand next to Joseph. Fans noticed this and they went online and called it a snub. They felt bad for Joseph. He is always on the outside looking in. He follows his siblings on Instagram, but they do not always follow him back or like his posts. Joseph has said in interviews that it takes 2 to have a relationship. He seems open to it. But the wounds from the affair run deep for the other kids. They stand by their mom, Maria. For them, Joseph is a reminder of the pain their mother went through. Despite the drama, Joseph keeps smiling. He says he has a great father, and he is building his own legacy one rep at a time. Now let us talk about the lifestyle that all this drama is wrapped in. Arnold Schwarzenegger is wealthy on a level that is hard to comprehend. In 2026, Arnold's net worth is estimated to be around $1.2 billion. He made about $500 million from his movies, but he made even more from smart investments. He owns huge chunks of real estate in California. He owns a piece of the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Beverly Hills. He owns office buildings and malls. And what does he spend his money on? Cars. But not just any cars. Arnold has the most insane car collection in Hollywood. He was the man who convinced the military to sell Hummers to normal people. He loves big trucks, but now he loves electric big trucks. Arnold owns the world's first electric Hummer H1. A company called Chrysler Electric built it just for him. It has batteries where the fuel tank used to be. It has 483 horsepower. It can go 186 miles on a single charge. Arnold loves it because he can drive a monster truck without polluting the air. He also has an electric Mercedes G-Wagon. This thing is a beast. It has 483 horsepower too, and can charge 80% of its battery in just 25 minutes. He drives it all over Los Angeles. But his garage is not all eco-friendly. He has a Bugatti Veyron, which is one of the fastest cars in the world. He has a Bentley Continental GT Supersports convertible that goes 200 miles per hour. He has a Mercedes SLS AMG Roadster worth over $500,000. And the crown jewel of his collection is a tank, a real tank. It is an M47 Patton tank. This is the exact same type of tank he drove when he was in the Austrian army as a teenager. He bought it and brought it to America. He keeps it at a ranch. He uses it to crush cars for charity. He brings kids from after-school programs to the ranch, and if they stay in school, he lets them drive the tank and crush things. You would think a billionaire lives in a quiet and pristine museum. Not Arnold. His house is like a zoo. Arnold has turned his Brentwood mansion into a farm. He has a miniature donkey named Lulu. Lulu is the queen of the house. She walks into the kitchen and watches Arnold cook. She eats snacks right off the table. Then there is Whiskey. Whiskey is a miniature pony. Lulu and Whiskey are best friends. They chase each other around the yard. Arnold posts videos of them sharing carrots. He also has a pig. Her name is Schnelly. Schnelly is a German word that means fast. When he first got her, she ran around so fast he could not catch her, so he named her Schnelly. She is a pot-bellied pig and she sleeps in a dog bed. And we cannot forget the dogs. He has a Leonberger named Schnitzel, named after his favorite Austrian dish. He has a Malamute named Dutch. He has a little Yorkshire Terrier named Cherry. Imagine walking into the Terminator's kitchen and seeing a donkey and a pony and a pig and 3 dogs waiting for breakfast. Patrick calls it a midlife crisis zoo, but Arnold calls it heaven. So here we are in 2026. Arnold Schwarzenegger is 78 years old. He has a pacemaker in his chest and $1 billion in the bank and a donkey in his kitchen. The Schwarzenegger story is not just about movies. It is a story about mistakes and redemption and the complicated and messy and beautiful thing called family. One thing is for sure. The Terminator is still the boss, and his story is far from over.